Hey guys, Yuliya here. So today I wanted to update you on a couple of more projects that I did this summer. So one of them is this planting of Supertunia Vista Snowdrift, and another one is planting of Caladiums at the corner of our front garden. So first of all, I wanted to talk about these Supertunias. I think they're looking so good right now, and I said to myself today, I have to shoot this video because it's now or never. I mean, petunias and supertunias are pretty frost hardy, so I think they're going to stay here for a while. But our weather is supposed to turn cold next week, so I think this is as good as it gets. But the reason why I wanted to show you these plants is because of all the hurdles that they had to overcome to be here and look like this. And I ordered these plants back in March when everything started happening. I didn't know if we're going to have access to nurseries, so I ordered all of these online. And what happened is that they came really late. They arrived at the end of May and they were broken in the shipment, in transit. So I was really upset. Those little plants were almost all gone, and what I did, I actually put them aside in the garden in their little pots to let them recover. I was watering them, I was fertilizing them, and they were slowly started to recover. And by the end of June, they looked like something ready to go in the ground. And I actually dug these beds right here. This is a no-dig bed. And I did a video on that, on the whole planting and making these beds, so I will post that in the description down below. But I planted them the same day as I created these no-dig beds, and then they took off. They're just so beautiful. This is actually one plant right here. Actually, let me look right here. I'll show you. And the kitty wants to show you too. So this is one plant, just pretty incredible. So, you know, once I put them in the ground, the problems didn't stop there. You know, as gardening goes, we had really bad budworm infestation earlier in the summer. So I spray them with BT once a week, and I would also fertilize them once a week with Jack's fertilizer. And I love Jack's fertilizer because they have different formulas for different plants, and they have specific formula for petunias. And as you can see, they perform really well on that. And I would water these plants also once a day. But the whole fertilizing schedule and the spraying schedule I would do on Fridays, and Fridays would be like this ritual for me. I know that today I have to go and fertilize my snowdrifts. It was kind of like this beautiful and peaceful moment for me. But the whole idea behind this composition was actually one of my New Year's resolution for a garden. I wanted something simple in one part of my garden. As you guys know, I love full garden. I love lots of color. I love natives. I love grasses. I love natural looking garden. But our house is pretty formal facade, and I was looking for something with a lot of formality, and petunias and supertunias have that formal feel to them. In fact, if I were to put them in my main border where I have lots of almost like wild looking flowers, it just would look so odd to me. But they look really good right here. My original idea was actually to interplant them with something a little bit wispier, like maybe Diamond Frost or Alyssum, but of course I couldn't find it anywhere in the nurseries. By that time, all the nurseries were closed. But overall, I really love the way it turned out. You know, it could have been better, but it always could be better. So I'm going to be happy with what I have today. Also, I would say I do not have enough light for these flowers here. And I realized that once, you know, they started to fill in, petunias and supertunias and calibrachoas require at least 6 hours of sunlight. I have about 5 hours of sunlight here. So they're definitely more sporadic and more open, more loose. They're not like that carpet of flowers, but still I kind of like that look. Anyway, let's move on to the caladiums. Okay, so how great are these caladiums? I think they're absolutely beautiful. And the story behind them was pretty much the same as behind the Supertunias. 100% emotional buy. I ran into the store before the close down and I grabbed a couple of bags of caladium corms and I started them indoors back in March. And once they filled in the pots, I planted them outside around, I think it was middle of June. So they're actually, the videos on both of those processes are in, you can search for them in the channel. And they've done so beautifully. And I can tell you that the caladiums cannot be any more least maintenance plants. So unlike the Supertunias, these plants do not need fertilizing, they do not need spraying for bugs. I water them maybe 5 times this summer because they're pretty drought tolerant. And here in northern New Jersey, we've been getting consistent rains. And I just love this bright, very simple composition here. And they kind of like echo the Supertunias in the back, which was kind of an unexpected event. But absolutely love this. Definitely a repeat composition here. But other than that, I think the only thing with caladiums is that you have to store them in the winter. And you can keep corms over the years and divide them. So when the weather's starting to get cooler, let's say consistently below 60 degrees Fahrenheit or 15 degrees Celsius, you have to think about storing the caladium bulbs, and it's a fairly simple process. I just dig them out, spread them on newspaper, wait for the leaves to dry, and then clean the corms from leaves and roots and all the soil or dirt that can be on top of them. And then I put them in shoe boxes with either vermiculite or some shredded paper. That's it. And you wait until March time and you do the process over again. Very, very simple. Anyway, really happy with these 2 projects. Again, very low maintenance, somewhat a little bit more maintenance, but beautiful nonetheless. I hope you guys learned something new today, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye. Steve Jobs, you know, he wore the same thing every day. Actually, I said the wrong thing. How you hang in there, trooper? Story behind them, is that how you say it? The story behind them, that's how you say it. Okay, the story behind, okay.